Hello, beautiful spirits. Shakima here. Just wanted to stop in for today's Free Yourself Fridays to give you guys 3 key tips for freeing yourself and also to do the one free question reading. So I'm going to wait for the room to get a little bit more filled out, and I'm going to wait for people to sort of come into the room with their questions whilst I go through the 3 key tips. And I haven't actually given this much thought, so it'll be interesting to see what Spirit comes up with. If you do like my content, then definitely be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Do hit the notification bell so that you can know every time I upload a video and be the first to get access to my content. Okay. Also, if you'd like to book yourselves a personal reading with me, then definitely check out my website. That's Hello, beautiful. That's www.shakimabrown.com. Hi. Well, lovely to have you in the space. I'm just going to set the space for us, and you can think about your question for me whilst I go through the 3 key tips for freeing yourself this Friday. Or maybe even start typing it now if it's a long one. I'm just going to set the space for us, get the incense and the candle going to get us into an open place so that we can get all the guidance we need. Lovely to have you in as well. Definitely be sure to subscribe, because this is going to be a regular thing going forward as far as us being able to do the one free question readings. Okay? Shay. It is done. Okay. So I will wait for you to sort of send through your question. In the meantime, my 3 key tips for freeing yourself this Friday. So my first tip would definitely be to make no judgments about your circumstances, because when we have, when we're judging what's happening in the external world, it makes it difficult for us to basically accept our circumstances, for one, which means that we have difficulty to make a change externally. And for 2, it also kind of affects our ability to be able to alchemize any negativity in this space and sort of turn that into a positive reflection of ourselves. So do not judge your circumstances. Okay, that's my first key tip. Second key tip for freeing yourself would definitely be to believe in yourself. Yes, go for it. Go for your question. I'd love to sort of see what your guides have to say. Kiara, what a beautiful name. I love that name, actually. Second tip would definitely be to, again, like you just did there, ask for what you want. Be direct with the universe about what it is that you're creating so that the universe can bring that to you. Don't be sort of indirect and blasé about what you want, because the universe then gets confused and you will get something that you feel as though you didn't intend, but your intention wasn't clear. My third key tip is to set intentions. Always set intentions for what it is that you're trying to create, so that the universe can sort of work towards bringing that to you, and also communicate with your guides and your angels in the process, so that they can assist you in the manifesting process. Okay, now I'm going to wait for you to sort of send through your question, and I'll get the cards together and we'll see what the answer is as far as your question. Oh, good, beautiful. I'm intrigued to see sort of what it is that you'd like to get some clarity on as well. I feel like your guides have been communicating with you recently on this particular question, so it would be interesting, because they definitely sent you here to get some clarity on what they've been trying to show you, so it'll be interesting. Got a bunch of different cards at the ready as well, depending on what kind of question we have or need to get some clarity on. So I've been hearing that my twin flame. Let's have a little look for you. Okay. The X. Ooh. I do believe, from what I can feel in this space, I can see that she is. Okay. I'm gonna say this much. She is definitely up the duff, as we say in the UK. So she's definitely pregnant. I can see that she's with child very early on. But I don't get the sense that he's romantically involved in that situation. I don't get the sense that he's romantically involved in that situation at all, actually. I think there's still more. I don't think you have all the information to that situation. That's what I'd say to you. I think there's still more information. It's interesting, actually, because that's the card that sort of popped up. I think that there's still more information that you need to get about the situation. I don't think they're romantically involved, but I do think that he has somehow, they've been interacting recently. I feel like he's more of a support in some way or another. At least she feels that way. And I don't think that he is, if you're asking, is he the father of her unborn child? I don't get that sense at all. Yeah, I don't get the sense that he is. Okay? And that's interesting because everything in the cards is saying no. So the answer is yes, she's pregnant, but no, it is not your ex. How can I put it? When we say cheating, I wanna sort of even sort of address this as well because spirit is clear. Oh, it's so mixed up. I'm sorry to hear, lovely. Okay, so with spirit, you know, sometimes we have a tendency to like deceive ourselves. So even if he was emotionally a support to her, spirit would consider that sort of emotional cheating because that's time and emotions that he's taking away from your relationship and giving to that situation. But I don't feel as though he's romantically involved in that situation. I don't feel as though it's a romantic connection. Um, I'm gonna say this as well, though. I feel like she's been manipulative to some extent. I think that she kind of, how can I put it? She emotionally blackmails him sometimes. He's quite a compassionate guy, and she kind of tugs on that to really sort of pull him in. But I don't think that it's a case of physical cheating. I think maybe he was emotionally invested in that space more so than anything else. And that was time that was taken away from you guys' relationship. Okay? But best of luck with it. Best of luck with it. And it's not as confusing as it looks or seems. Okay? Definitely be sure to keep me posted on that, you know, because I feel like there's going to be information coming to you in the next few weeks as well. There's going to be, in the next few weeks, things are going to unfold itself. You're going to get more and more people are going to keep coming to you, basically. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. Subscribe as well, you know. Let's sort of get the community going. Anybody else in the room with a question? We can sort of try and get some clarity. Yeah, it will come. I think that you're going to get some more clarity in the next few weeks. I want to say 3 to 4 weeks time, because there's still more that needs to sort of come up to surface, and nothing stays in the dark forever. That's for sure. Any other questions, guys? I see we've got 2 people in the room. Kiara sort of inputted her question. What's the next question? Also, if you want to get like actual clarity and confirmation about the twin flame connection between you and your ex, email me your date of birth and his date of birth, and I will do a astrological comparison, because I have a way to be able to track what I call the Adam sign. So definitely hit me up with that. My email address is my email address is shakima8@gmail.com, and I'll be able to have a look at that for you, because it's always interesting to see the Adam sign situation, how those things pan out, because I know those relationships are probably the most difficult to navigate through, because there's just so much baggage, for lack of a better way of putting it. But definitely, yes, that's it. Ooh, double EMA as opposed to IEMA. So SHACK EEMA 8 It is, absolutely. It's a bit of a nightmare at times. I've got my twin flame connection, my Adam sign connection, and it's tons of dips in the road. It's never really sort of like a straightforward process. But best of luck with it, beautiful. That's the one. At Gmail. gmail.com. You kind of changed it around from the Hotmail, the Gmail situation from before. No more questions in the room? Bye, beautiful. Thank you for stopping in. Definitely send the stuff over and I'll have a look for you. Right. Ooh. So, let's see. Just going to pull some cards for the sake of it, seeing as there's no questions coming through. Just to sort of see what's in the atmosphere at the minute, whilst I wait for you guys to type your stuff through so I can give you some clarity. And this is always fun for me as well, because I always like to see what the guides have in mind. Okay, we have one party in the room. Do you have a question? Yay or nay? Yes or nah? Okay. I feel like this space is always intended to be like an open floor. So, as I sort of intend to make this like a regular occurrence, so that people can sort of come in, stop into the space, we could all sort of get to know each other, vibe with each other. That is the intention going forward. So I just want to, put this out there as a official situation, where we're able to sort of commune together, catch up on a weekly basis, if you will, because I always like to know how things pan out after I sort of give you guys a reading on whatever it is that you're seeking clarity for. Hello, I see we have somebody in the room. Is there anything that you would like to ask? Your one free question. But yeah, the intention is to like really build a network here where we can all just stop in and support each other. Okay, guys. Right. I'm going to wait out the space and try not to be too impatient because that's something. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, David, by the way. Absolutely. I think our most tragic relationships are our biggest lessons, to be fair. That's why we have to be thankful for them, because they're blessings in disguise. They make us better people because of how they actually sort of reflect. They come in as a reflection of us, kind of shining a light on, I guess, the shadows of us that we choose to ignore from time to time. Let's see, guys. Any questions in the room? Any questions? I get you. I get you. I think it's always tough, like when, relationships kind of go. Well, the only thing that I can say is basically those lessons keep popping up because the lesson hasn't been learnt as of yet. So there is something in your subconscious mind that's calling those experiences to you. And because it's a case of, how can I put it? Because it's a case of working through, because we're here to evolve, right? And it's a case of working through any dark reflections within our DNA. I'm sure that is a joke. I'm sure that's a joke. Do turkeys have knees? I do not know, actually. I'll probably have to get a turkey friend, and then I'll be able to come back to you on that one, Frank. Give me a week or so. I'll see if I can find a turkey friend in the astral realms. Then I'll get back to you on whether or not they have knees. I want to say no, but I can't be sure. Advice for you there, David, or suggestion, because I never really like to give advice per se. I'd recommend learning the lessons as quickly as possible. Definitely do. Well, tune in next Friday and hold me accountable. I'm going to go, as of today, go searching in the astral realms for a turkey friend to ask whether or not they've got knees. Funny enough, I'm seeing a projection in my mind at the minute, and there is a turkey sort of showing me that he does not have knees. But yeah, I shall find out and get confirmation for you, Frank, and we can sort of chop that up next week and break that down and see if they don't have knees. Why not? We all need knees, right? I think what I'd say, David, I don't think penguins have eyebrows. And you've got your one question, Frank. I don't think penguins have eyebrows, no. David, what I'd say is the circumstances that crop up. Basically, I'll put it to you like this, right? If there is something that your inner child is wanting to explore a little bit more in terms of any baggage that you're carrying. So people come in and sort of bring more of that kind of baggage to you, only to show you that your inner child is struggling with healing and alchemizing that reflection of itself. So I'll put it to you like this. For people that have abandonment issues, they kind of draw people in that will abandon them in their friendships, in their personal relationships. And when those situations show up, it's really teaching the individual to have and place value on themselves. So what I recommend, I was actually having a conversation with someone earlier today, funny enough, and I was saying to her, go in and have a conversation. When I say go in, I mean go in through meditation, meditation, and go back to the memories that are suppressed, where that child is looking at their experience from a negative perspective, where it's like, okay, for instance, if a parent sort of abandoned them and they want to go back and look at that situation and have a conversation with that child, let the child know. So now we're sort of learning how to parent ourselves, let the child know. I think I'm going to say this. I'm going to come back I'll answer the question straight off the bat and come back, Frank. So I would say if it's something that they are passionate about doing, definitely encourage them. They feel like they are the chosen one because they have something specific. I want to say their purpose is to do something different in the world. Their purpose is to bring something different to the music industry, if you will. And I know a few artists myself, and even though they are similar in the fields, each of them have a different purpose, and the way that they express themselves individually is completely different. So tell him to believe in himself. Absolutely, because that encouragement might be the answer to him actually meeting his potential or not. Having people that have faith in you kind of really fuels your motivation. And funny enough, the cards are actually speaking as I'm talking about it because the cards are just going all over the place. Yeah, well, it's the truth. I think that if they have something specific that they can sort of lend to the industry that probably nobody else has done, and there's a calling on their heart that spirit's asking them to sort of come forth and express themselves and share their personal spirit with other people. And I'm going to say this, I think that they are definitely different from what I'm picking up in the space of this individual. They're different. Their ability is a little bit different, and I feel like they put all their emotions into their music, and that's what so I want to say that they're more of a conscious kind of rapper, but they need to find it lacks direction. That's the main thing that I'm getting, that the artist in them lacks direction, and they're looking outside of themselves for validation. And it's almost like if other people doesn't validate, yes, you're a good artist, it's almost like they shut down on themselves. Yes, Manisha, go for it. What is your question? Or would you just like a card just randomly, just to sort of see something, or would you like to ask a question? It's up to you. Now, to close out David's question, go in, have a conversation with your inner child, and Manisha, this is what I'll say when it comes to a when. Talking about just believe in yourself. Yeah, I think that belief kind of speeds up the process for the manifesting to sort of happen. But I think at the same time, he says, it's okay, David. I think at the same time, he says that because he doesn't necessarily believe entirely in himself. That's why he's, kind of looking to you to confirm certain things. But just encourage him, because I do feel like he has something special to share with the world. As for your question, Manisha, I'm going to say this much. I feel like there's a block with you're blocking your blessings in that space, is what I'd say. There's some heavy masculine energy. For lack of a better way of putting it, I don't believe your masculine and feminine energy is like completely balanced. I feel like at times, in terms of communication, you can be a little bit abrupt, and that's one of the things that kind of affects your ability to maintain like a solid long-term relationship. And when we're talking about the when question in terms of soulmates, spirit never really has like a clear guidance on that. It doesn't really sort of work like that. I'd love to be able to sit here and say to you, you're going to meet your soulmate tomorrow. It doesn't really work like that. I don't want to lie to you, and I don't want to like feed your ego in terms of what you want to hear. I just want to be completely honest, but best of luck with it. I do feel like you maybe need to do some more work. Okay. How will you meet your soulmate? I feel like you make the connection through a friend. I feel like there is I feel like you guys share mutual friends, is how you guys make a meeting. And I feel like this individual, it's almost like they see you, are drawn to your energy, and then they start to have conversations with your mutual friends about hooking you guys up, and they kind of make it happen. So keep your close circle close, and in the meantime, I would say continue to do your own personal work, because that would speed up the process. I feel like they're close, but I'll put it to you like this: both of you guys are this close to each other, but it's like you guys are missing each other just by That's interesting. Well, that's nice to know, Frank. Thanks for sharing. Okay, let's have a look. Madhab. Thank you for sharing, Frank. I I think that you guys, the touring side of things, it's not the entire belief situation, you know. I think there's still some things there that may be blocking it. Let's see how he feels about you. Okay. He still hasn't necessarily made his mind up yet. He still hasn't made his mind up yet. I feel like he's on his way out of a relationship himself, which is why he's indecisive about this. Yeah, I think he's open to something. I think he's open to getting to know you. He's definitely open to getting to know you, but I think he's recently just sort of found himself out of a relationship situation, so he's just kind of proceeding with caution. Hey, Evelyn. Hello, mommy. Do you have any questions for us? What I'd say, Manisha, that's going to require some time, because I feel like he's finally at the place that he can actually bring something new into his romance side. Will me and Brian be in a serious relationship? Let's have a look and see. Let's have a look and see if it's sort of in divine alignment. So that's the answer to your question, Manisha. I think that he's open to a relationship now, but he's indecisive because of his past situation. Okay. Oh, yes. No, that's fine. Thank you for stopping in. Be sure to subscribe. Make a... Sorry, I'm sort of like looking at the cards, so I'm getting a little bit distracted. Evelyn, to answer your question, the answer is absolutely yes. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Why are you a little worried, Frank? Answer that one for me. I'm going to say yes to you and your partner, Evelyn. These are the cards that sort of popped out for you guys. So that's an absolute yes. And I can see that this is more of a rekindled romance. You know, you guys have like come back into this space and it's a soulmate interaction. What I will say, however, is that you guys need to work on your time management, because that's one of the things that kind of affected you guys in the past. It hasn't necessarily like an organized, how can I put it? You guys aren't necessarily as organized as you need to be in terms of planning and sticking to those plans. So maybe work on that going forward, because I feel like the time that you guys may have potentially spent apart, basically, you kind of learned a lot about the fact that you do actually want to be together. I'm actually 29 this month. I'm 29 this month, Frank. 29 this month. I just have a very young face and features. But thank you for the compliment. I'll take it. But yeah, I think you guys are really going into a new place within your relationship, is what I'd say to you, Evelyn. Like, you guys are really sort of, you've come back stronger this time round. And for the most part, I think that what I would say is that you guys, hey, Maya. I think that you guys definitely have learned from the disorganizations of the past, but you need to be a little bit more efficient going forward. Okay, don't take each other for granted is what I'd say, and definitely be expressive with each other from your heart space. I want to know if I will get it. Okay, let's have a little look. Maya, will she get into the university she applied for, Spirit? That is the question. Okay, we have... That's perfectly fine, Evelyn. Thank you for stopping in with your question. Definitely be sure to subscribe. We do this every Friday. It is a wishes fulfilled moment for you, Maya. It's definitely a wishes fulfilled moment for you. So I do believe that things will be working in your favor as far as the situation. I can tell that obviously there's still some time, basically. It requires you being patient. And I can see that that's something that you struggle with, you know. But for the most part, I can see that things will be sort of working out in your favor, synchronistically so as well. Okay? Yeah, things will definitely be working out for you. So the answer is yes. Just be patient and don't doubt it. There's a reason that you were intuitively guided to it. Okay? Go for it, Maya. Thank you, Bert. As for your response there, Frank, honestly, I would question it too. But I have a birth certificate that confirms it for me. Go for it, Maya. Just this once. Because that was very clear. It was a quick answer, straight to the point. So go for it just this once. We'll see what sort of comes up. Okay. We'll wait for Maya's question to come through so I can answer the clarity. Well, answer the question to provide some clarity in the space, really. Okay. Do I think you will get the braces? Let's have a little look for you. I'm going to say this. I don't think that it's going to be an easy situation. I feel that much in this space. I feel like there's definitely going to be a struggle with it. Let me pull a card for, okay. I want to say no, unfortunately. I want to say no, Maya. Reason why I say that is because it's going to be a real struggle. It's going to be a real struggle. There's definitely going to be some challenges for you. Okay, what I will say is that it's not entirely a no. And thank you hi to the new person in the room. I did sort of see someone new come in. Hi, Kathy. Hi. I think that it's really going to be a struggle for you to actually manifest this all the way to light. Hello, Varsity. Ooh, the room's getting a little bit filled in. That's awesome. You're going to have to, I'm going to say look at your options in terms of stuff to do with, I don't want to say loans, but grants more feel applicable. I don't know what country you're based in, but look at means where it's something that you don't necessarily have to pay back the funds, but I feel like there's something there that you're missing. I feel like there's a financial opportunity that can bring this to light for you, but you're not looking in the right places is what I'd say. But it is going to be a bit of a struggle. You're going to have to fight for it if you want it, basically, because I don't think it's going to come from your parents, but I feel like if you want for it to happen, it can happen. It's just going to be very challenging for you. Okay? Any other questions in the room, guys? Does Kathy or Varsity have any questions for me? Thank you, Maya. Definitely would love to have you on my tribe, Life Warriors. Life is a fight, guys. It's definitely a struggle. Let's get some guidance, guys. Do you guys have any questions? What have you been pondering on all week or month? What are you sort of thinking about doing? You know, I'll be happy to just pull some cards and get some clarity for you guys. I do this every Friday, guys. Every Friday, just to give us all an opportunity to get some guidance. It always helps, right? 2 brains and a spirit guide is better than 1. It's what I always say. It definitely makes a difference. Okay. What is going to happen in my love life or happening now? Kathy. Let's have a little look and see what's going on in Kathy's love life. Let's have a little look. What's going on in Kathy's love life? Let's have a look there first and see potentially what the future holds for it. Okay, I can see that someone has walked away from a situation. This could be you or the other party, because it wasn't living up to their expectations. It wasn't meeting their values in terms of what they wanted in a relationship. Yeah, there's definitely been a recent separation. Let's have a little look. But now things are going to be changing, I feel like. Let's have a look. Ooh. Okay. I feel like the relationship that, this is what I'd say. I feel like the relationship that you walked away from, you kind of completed a cycle with that relationship because it felt like, it felt like there was a lot of back and forth for a long time. And you kind of, how can I put it? It kind of felt like it was taking all of your energy, all of your time. It wasn't moving as fast as you wanted it to in terms of progress. They felt like it was a slow moving process as far as them maturing. But what I will say in terms of the situation, because I feel like there was some deception in the situation as well. Somebody may have been a little bit sneaky. Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like that. What I will say is stay optimistic. Stay optimistic because I can see, I'm going to say this much. I feel like the relationship has affected you in some way because it's kind of built some insecurities because there was a lot of deception throughout the process of it. So maybe work on that before even moving into anything else. That would be my personal sort of suggestion because I never like to give advice because I'm an imperfect human being myself. But that would be my suggestion to you because that person's like really created some shadows as far as how you are going to be manifesting your relationships. But I do feel like that chapter is now closed for the most part. I do feel like the chapter is now closed, but I can see that you're no longer feeling like resentment about the situation. It kind of feels more like you're ready for the next phase of your romantic life, and you're kind of a little bit scared of what's to come, just because obviously I feel like that was a long-term relationship for quite some time. So it does feel a little bit like, oh my god, like I'm out in the deep end, like trying to find the ground basically beneath my feet. But what I will say is that things will get better for you. Things will get better for you romantically because I feel like this person kind of, they didn't value you enough. And I don't know if this was both of you guys not valuing each other enough, but I feel like you guys kind of took each other for granted at times, and that was one of the things that really affected you guys being able to really create the kind of relationship that you wanted. So what I would say is patience is going to be a real comfort to you in the future, is what I'd say, because I can see that. I think as far as the romance going forward, yeah, you're definitely just going to have to be patient because you now need to basically work on the parts of yourself that they've basically affected you with some insecurities, and those need to be worked on. That's what Spirit's saying to me. Don't move on and don't push it before it's time, because right now you're having a creative block in terms of manifesting that. Although you've passed the point where you're like resentful of how the situation panned out, how much time you gave to the situation, how much energy it kind of took from you, although you're past all of that, at the same time, you kind of need to make sure that you're working through any baggage that you're currently carrying with the situation, like any, how can I put it, any programs that you formulated in your subconscious mind about how relationships should appear, how partners are supposed to sort of treat you type thing, because I get the sense that where it was so dramatic, as you put it, you don't want to take that into your next relationship. So just take the time that you need to sort of go through your healing process. And I'm going to pull, I feel like it's going to be a good few months actually before anybody new comes into this space for you, is what I'd say, Kathy. I feel like it's going to be a good few months simply because you're going to need to go through the whole, you're going to need to go through the whole processing of the situation, It's not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, you definitely need to take a break. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself for a little bit. And really sort of take that time to be assertive, because I have a feeling that they will try to come back in as well. But you've given the relationship a lot of time, and you know that it doesn't serve you because you want to move on from those patterns. You want to move on from the cycle of drama in your life. So just take some time for yourself so that you can nurture yourself, so that you can put back into yourself, so that you can fuel and refuel yourself. Okay, that would be my sort of recommendation. Hope that was useful for you, Kathy. If I recall, Varsity still in the room. Varsity, let me know if you have a question and we will pull some cards to get some clarity for you. Does he have any regrets? I think he's definitely contemplating it. I think that he's definitely sort of looking at the situation and seeing maybe what he could have done differently. Like I said, I feel like there were times where you both took each other for granted, you know, and it kind of feels like there were so many opportunities where you guys could have done better by each other, but your egos were too fixed on being right, basically, for lack of a better way of putting it. That's how I'm feeling it in this space. Like, there were times where either one or both of you could have just backed down a little bit and come out of your head space and speak to each other from your heart space, but instead you guys kept going like with the logical processing of things, and that really kind of, that's where it became so dramatic, you know, because it's like, it almost felt like a clash of the egos is what I'm seeing in the space. It's like trigger for trigger, and that wasn't going to help the situation. But he does have, I don't know if I can say regret, but he's definitely contemplating how the situation kind of panned out. I think where you guys spend so much time together, so yeah, I think where you guys spend so much time together, it's a weird sort of shift for him as well, to think that you guys are no longer together. So I think take some time for yourself and you will be surprised to see what comes with the situation, because I think it's going to be a good few months, a good 3 to 4 months before you are in any kind of romantic situation. Okay, but best of luck with it. Definitely, like, keep me updated, you know, subscribe. You can sort of come back in next Friday. I do this every week, 9 p.m, and just kind of let me know, you know, how the situation's panning out. I think the best thing for both of you guys right now, what I would say is, like, no communication, just because it will affect and impact your healing process. Just because you guys don't want to have to find yourselves being codependent on each other because of habit, basically. But give it time. Give it time is what I'd say. Perfect timing. Do we have any other questions in the room? We have 17 minutes to go before the session closes out. No more free questions. So get your questions over to me, guys. Get your questions over to me. And we sort of try and get some clarity for you. Ooh. Yeah, that's good, because it is a good thing. It is a good thing. It kind of affects you guys being able to move forward. How do you know when you meet your soulmate? Well, for one, Maya, you just know. And for two, what I would say, no, that's perfectly fine, Kathy. Thank you for asking. Thanks for asking. I hope that, you know, I was able to bring some kind of guidance to the situation for you. You definitely feel something. You definitely feel something, Maya. It's almost like your spirit kind of takes over your vessel at that point, and you are magnetized by this person. It's almost like you're drawn to this person, and it feels like it's out of your control. Every time you like someone, you feel like they're your soulmate. I think what I will say, soulmate connection is a little bit different. Like, it's an unconditional love, and I think that when you meet the person, I think this is what I'd say to you. When you meet the person, you kind of differentiate whether or not it's a like or an infatuation, because the two are completely different and vibrate at two completely different sort of levels. And I think when we're sort of infatuated with the situation, we're more infatuated with the thought of being in a relationship. Yes, Varsity, I've been waiting for you to ask a question. Go for it, beautiful. Everybody else has thrown something out there, so go for it. But I think when you find that soulmate, it's instantaneous. Is there any way to find out? Firstly, you can ask your spirit guides. You can ask your spirit guides to show you sort of when he crops up. But I'm gonna say this. I want to know how Travis feels about me. Okay, I'm gonna answer. Give me a second, Maya. I'm gonna answer Varsity's question and have a look. How does Travis feel? I got that impression. I got that impression, Maya. Okay. Travis, for the most part. Okay, I can see that there's been a recent breakdown in you guys' communication. Not good. Not good. Let's have a little look. That's a question I can answer. Let's have a look for you. Okay, so for you guys, Varsity, I can tell that the situation with you guys is that you guys have been doing this for a while. He ain't going nowhere. That's what I'd say to you, lovely. He ain't going nowhere. For the most part, I can understand that right now you guys have like had a bit of a tiff, basically, and it feels like you guys have. It feels like there's been a momentary separation of some sort. I don't know if communication has been halted, but yeah. What I would say is that he ain't going nowhere, so don't worry about it. He'll be back. He can't get enough of you. That's what I'm seeing on the card. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, let's see. How's he feeling? Okay. He's learning. He's learning. That's all that's happening here. I feel like the relationship's like a very deep connection, and it's a karmic relationship that triggers people to change. Like you guys are triggering each other to become your best versions, and in order for that to happen, these types of miscommunications need to happen so that you guys can go deeper and learn how to become a better communicator, how to become a better lover, how to become just a better person. I don't think that he's going anywhere, beautiful. I don't think that he's going anywhere. I feel like it's been a long-term relationship, like I said, and you guys are very used to each other. I don't think that he's going anywhere. I think, if anything, this is just an opportunity for him to learn. Let me see what he's learning. Let's see what he's learning, because... Oh, okay. Yeah. I feel like you guys have been getting to know each other for a while. Okay. I get the sense that somebody's been a little bit selfish. Somebody has definitely been a little bit selfish, and they've been defensive about it. You know, they've been defensive about the fact. Okay, I like that. Well, it's good to make a connection. Okay, he's been defensive about his tendency to be selfish. That's why he's learning then. You know, that's why he's learning. So this may be something where he's learning how to mature in relationships. You know, you might be that person where he's actually motivated to become a better sort of, how can I put it, a better partner, basically, where he's not just so focused on what it is that he wants out of the situation, but he's not going nowhere. He'll be back. This is like a temporary blip in the road for you guys. But I do think that you guys need to learn how to communicate better on it, though. I'll say this much. Don't, because I get the sense that you kind of, it's like he does stuff and then you hold it and hold it and hold it. And then it's like this one thing that really just like sets you off there, like sends you over the cliff. And then you're like, don't do that. I'm going to say that. Don't do that. When he does something and it affects you or you feel annoyed by it straight away, have a conversation so that it's tactful. Absolutely. Have a conversation so that you can tactfully just acknowledge what you're feeling in that moment, so you don't have to keep carrying it around for you to explode. Okay, because I don't think that helped the situation much either. I think that he's shown you a lot of situations or moments where he was, you know, a little bit selfish in terms of the way that he acted on stuff, and you just kind of turn a blind eye, even though you were annoyed, and just kind of let him, you know. Don't do that, because if you just let him know, hey, I don't like the fact that you do this, but maybe you didn't realize that it was affecting me, but now that you know, this is what I'd like you to do going forward so that we can avoid this even being a thing. Because I feel like it, if it's not rectified, you guys will find yourself arguing over petty stuff that isn't even worth the relationship. Because this blow up right now, I feel like it's like, I wouldn't say it was a small thing, but I feel like it was something that you already saw him do before, basically before that situation, or you had like some intuitive guidance that it was a thing. But yeah, just nip it in the bud straight away, and you won't have to worry about having to suppress it and having it like explode, like from building up inside. Okay, but you guys are good. He'll be back. Anybody else in the room with a question, guys? We've got less than 10 minutes to go. I'm closing out at, let's see, it's 9 minutes to go. So I'm going to be closing out at about 17 past. No, thank you, beautiful. Thank you for actually asking and sharing and allowing me to see into your space. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, beautiful. Nice to have you as a part of the team. Now, Maya, let's have a look to see if you will sort of end up going through an arranged marriage. Thank you for bringing me back to the question, so I can see you were waiting your turn there. Okay. Will Maya end up going through an arranged marriage? Is that the intention for Maya, Spirit? As clearly as you can. Let's have a little look for you, beautiful. Okay. I am going to say no, but your parents are definitely going to be pushing the issue. I'm going to say no, because I think that you end up picking your own suitor, but your parents are definitely going to be sort of pushing the issue. Yeah, I see. I see it being a factor for you now anyways. You'll be making your own decision. I definitely feel like you'll be making your own decision. Will be this. I think that he will be. I definitely feel like he will be. But I think it's going to take you some time to find him. I think it's definitely going to take you some time to find him. He's got a lot of the same values as you as well. I feel like he's quite caring. Oh, bear with me, guys. Yeah, I feel like he's quite caring, very supportive. He gets on with your family as well, from what I can see in the space. But I feel like it's still going to take you guys some time to find each other. Yeah. I feel like it's still going to take some time for you guys to find each other. There's somebody that you're thinking about from the past that you think is like a missed opportunity. That's what I'm getting with this situation. Okay. What's his name? Because I feel like you haven't necessarily moved on from that situation. Sam. Okay, awesome. Let's have a look to see what's going on with Sam. Ooh, okay. That was fairly quick and easy. Okay. Okay. A lot of hasty decisions. Well, I think that for him, he feels like the way that things ended was very abrupt. It was like a very quick, like, out. And I don't understand why things kind of shifted so quickly for you guys. It wasn't like a slow moving transit where you guys slowly kind of moved out of each other's space. But I feel like somebody were being practical by ending the relationship. But actually they were just being immature. But that's how it's showing up. They were just being emotionally mature, you know. They wanted things to be a certain type of way. Will he get you any? I will definitely check in on that for you. Evelyn, Brian. Let's have a little look if Brian will get you anything for Valentine's Day. Yeah, I feel like there was some emotional immaturity there, Maya. So I think the situation, that's okay, Evelyn. I think the situation just kind of, you guys needed to mature. Yes, he will, boo. Yes, he will. And say thank you. Evelyn, Brian will definitely be getting you something, and it will be something nice. And I feel like he'll be all romantic as well. I get that vibe. Like I'm getting a whole sensual vibe for you guys. So he'll definitely be showing up. Yeah. Well, enjoy. I don't think he hates you, Maya. I don't think he hates you. I think, let's have a little look. I think hate's a strong word. I think that he was just frustrated by how the situation panned out. I think he was just frustrated by the breakdown in you guys' communication. Let's have a little look for Maya. Yeah, no, I think that if anything, he just kind of felt like things was unfair. He does think about you. He does think about you. But I think, for the most part, the situation just kind of, there were too many delays. You know, there were delays in it actually developing into something. So it just really had to end the way that it did, I guess, because it was too risky, or at least it was feeling too risky. There was too much immaturity. Sorry, like the energy is like throwing me off a little bit, but it felt like there was someone that was really quite immature. I am still here, Frank. I am still here. I'm closing out in the next less than 4 minutes. But yeah, I think that it was just slow. It was just a slow moving process, and I don't think that either of you guys had enough patience with each other, and that's why things didn't really progress as good as it. Boo to you too, Frank. That's why things didn't progress as as strongly as it could. To see what. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, that's your choice. That's your choice. Yeah. Well, hopefully. You never know. You never know. I think I'll say this to you, Maya. You made the best decision for yourself, because that's how you felt about the situation at the time, and you don't need to hold any regrets about that. It wasn't a missed opportunity. I'm gonna say this much: it would have been great sex. I can feel that much, because the energy feels like quite magnetizing between you guys, quite sensationalized. So I want to put that out there, but for the most part you weren't ready, and that's okay. I think you guys needed to get to know each other more anyways. And also, like, when we're talking about sex, we're into, how can I put it, where we are merging our energy with somebody else's energy. So you want to be very careful about, how much you know about the person. And just stop. This is better. No, that's fine, Frank. Like, when you're dealing with situations like that, when you're talking about a sexual interaction, you are literally taking on that person's energy into your own, especially as a female, into your portal. So you want to be absolutely careful. You want to make sure that you are 110% safe with this person, that you feel protected with this person, that you're open to giving your vessel to this individual. And if he doesn't necessarily make you feel like that, you have all right to say, do you know what, I'm not ready yet. Let's not take it that far right now. And I think him sort of turning his back on the situation or whatever, or it ending the way it did, it just kind of lets you know, like, he wasn't really, I don't want to say man enough, but he wasn't ready for a mature relationship. Like, I practice celibacy, guys, and I'm in a long-term relationship, okay? Like, just to give you guys some tea on my tea. Thank you so much. He never loved me. Basically, I think you guys were looking for two completely different things. He was looking for more of a casual relationship, and you were looking for a life partner, and that's okay, you know? What I will say is that you will find your own partner. Your parents will continue to put pressure on you, but it will ultimately be your decision at the end of the day. I don't think you'll have an arranged marriage. I do feel like the person that you end up marrying as well is very much Team Maya. He's a great support to your entire, ideals of yourself. Okay? I'm going to take one final question and close out the space, guys. So if anybody has anything for me, this is your final chance, guys. That's okay, Maya. Thank you for being awesome, beautiful. That's okay. Thanks for showing up. Tune in next Friday. Think of some questions throughout the week, or a question that you specifically want guidance on. Your intuition told you what you needed from that situation, you know? Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. You would have given yourself to him and then realized that he was a bit of a dick anyways. No pun intended. Any final questions in the room? Because I am about to ask. Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see you next Friday and we can sort of chop it up again. If there are no final questions, that's okay, Evelyn. Thank you. Okay. Let's have a look. I'm going to say this, Varsity. I'm not going to say you're not doing enough, but I feel like you're not as motivated as you used to be. Okay. Let's have a look. Will she? Job for Varsity, Spirit. Job for Varsity. What do you see? Job for Varsity. What do you see? And this is the final question, closing out the space, guys. Yeah, I feel like you're just applying for jobs for the sake of applying for jobs, and that's what the cards are saying to me. You're not like looking for something specifically in your field. You will get a job. You will get a job fairly soon. I'm going to pull some cards to see in terms of timing, because I feel like this is going to be happening sooner rather than later. Yeah, it's happening in the next few weeks. Okay? So give it the next... I'll show you the cards just so that you can get clarity for yourself. So this is what we have, Varsity. The guides are saying yes, and it's going to be happening in the next few weeks for you. Okay, so just keep doing what you're doing, and it will come up trumps. I feel like there is a specific job. I feel like there's a specific job that would be like a great match for you. Like you will just kind of blossom in that role, and that's where they're leading you to. So keep your eyes open. I feel like you'll feel it in your heart as well, because even as I'm saying it, I'm getting butterflies. So there's a specific job that is there for you, and it's coming. It's waiting. You guys are waiting to find each other, basically. Okay? Awesome. Keep me posted. Let me know how it goes. Whew. Right, guys. That is it for Free Yourself Fridays. I hope that you guys... Thank you. Thank you for sort of stopping in and sharing with us. I hope that you guys have a lovely, lovely evening, and... God bless you all. Thank you, Varsity. Thank everybody for stopping in. Thank you guys for being so dope. And yeah, stay tuned. We can do this every Friday. I like just sort of stopping in and seeing what the guys have to say. So, bye, Frank. I'm definitely going to make sure that I make that turkey friend for you so I can answer your question next Friday. Haven't forgotten. Got it. Okay? I will see you guys next Friday. Thank you for being awesome.